The Fischer projection is a molecule in a straitjacket. It is in the most uncomfortable conformation. So think of it as a caterpillar that's forced to lean back, and each and every one of its little arms are reaching out to hug you. We are going to be converting this into a skeletal structure using a step-by-step method. This is 2,3-dibromobutane with bromines in green. There is so much steric hindrance that these hydrogens on carbons 1 and 4 actually hit each other. They're supposed to be in the same place, and it just gets worse with a longer chain. This was glucose, and my attempt of putting it in a Fischer projection conformation. I literally couldn't do it because I have carbons with groups on them, and those carbons are supposed to be in the same place. Just looks like a giant jumbled mess. But let's get the roles down with this simpler molecule. Step 1 is to take your Fischer projection and plop it down onto its side. We have 4 carbons in a chain. We are not dealing with conformations or stereochemistry right now. You can just draw these flat if you want to. Step 2 is to pick a perspective for your skeletal structure and stick with it. What I mean is that in this Fischer projection, we can clearly see top, bottom, left, and right. You need to know top, bottom, left, and right over here. Don't just draw an eyeball because you'll get top and bottom mixed up. Just draw a stick figure. This is the orientation you are in when you are looking at this Fischer projection. Step 3, add the groups on achiral carbons. Why? Because that's just the easiest place to start. So carbons 1 and 4 are both achiral. So 1 is at the top. That means where our head is looking, this needs 3 hydrogens added. 4 is at the bottom, where the feet are. This needs 3 hydrogens added. Step 4 is to take the groups on the left side of your Fischer projection and to figure out if they belong on wedges going towards you or dashes going away from you. This is a really common place where people tend to lose points. So let's look at our molecular model. These groups are on the left when this is the top. Rotating it to that same orientation as our skeletal structure, these green bromines are now in the back, so they would be on dashes. Head is on the right, dash is on the left. Step 5 is to add the groups on chiral carbons. So we just decided that the bromines that are in left need to be on dashes, and the hydrogens on the right need to be on wedges. Step 6 is to change the conformation so that our backbone is in that more common zigzag conformation. This is another place where people tend to lose points. So imagine that my body is this carbon number 2. This is a hydrogen on a wedge coming towards you. This is bromine on a dash going away from you. If we rotate some carbon-carbon bonds and you end up looking at that carbon from the other side, the wedge and the dash have flipped. When I rotate this bond, that bromine switched. It is now going towards us. This stayed the same. That is every bit as true in this small molecule as it is in glucose. So wedges and dashes here stay the same. This was at the top of our arch, and it's at the top of the zigzag. Here is where they change. It has gone from the top of an arch to the bottom of the zigzag, and that's when our wedges and dashes flip. Step 7 is to assign RS configuration to everything. Right here, right now, is your chance at a get-out-of-jail-free card. Whatever the RS configurations were here need to be maintained in every single structure. If one of your RSs got flipped, you made a mistake earlier and you need to go back and fix it. Step 8 is to simplify this into a skeletal structure. If you're still struggling to assign RS configurations quickly, I have a video that teaches you how to do it by rotating your hands instead of the molecule. Or you can move on to do this conversion again on hard mode.